what if Donald Trump just hid in the basement for the next 7 months? What if he never went to a podium? What if he never said anything? What if he just chilled? And you say, well, that's a ridiculous strategy. Trump is great in front of a crowd. And he is great in front of a crowd. He's phenomenal in front of a crowd. But it's very clear from Trump's appearances yesterday in Michigan and Wisconsin that no matter what he says and no matter how he says it, the people who relay it to you and analyze it later and break it down are not going to give him anything close to a fair shake. You say, well, that's how it's always been, Bruce. And I agree. That is how it's always been. There's no doubt about it. But it would be interesting how they would fill their airwaves if Trump just didn't give them ammunition. A couple of weeks ago in Dayton, it was the bloodbath comment, right? Donald Trump was talking about the U.S. auto industry. What happens to the U.S. auto industry if Joe Biden is elected? And he was clearly talking about the U.S. auto industry. Well, as he often does, Peter Doocy of Fox News went into the Wayback Machine and found a quote from Joe Biden where Joe Biden used the word bloodbath. And he certainly appeared to be using it in a context that would be every bit as open to consternation as Trump using it in Dayton. Remember, Trump was talking about the U.S. auto industry, but listen to Doocy's question and listen to KJP yesterday. The created narrative about Trump has now become, according to the Biden administration and every major network, the gospel truth about what Trump said in Dayton a couple of weeks ago at a Saturday rally.
So when Donald Trump is talking about a bloodbath in his violent rhetoric, what was it when Joe Biden said in 2020, what we can't let happen is let this primary become a negative bloodbath?
So I'm going to be really mindful and careful about Donald Trump, but if you read, because he is a candidate, we're talking about the 2024 election, you should read what he said in its context. So you got to read what
You sure should. You sure should.
Word.
We
When
got-
Trump uses it, what is it?
It's
What
not-
Biden uses it?
No. Let's be very clear. You gotta actually ask me the question in context of what it was said, right? And what it was said when he said that, right? In his remarks, in his speech.
She's talking about Biden.
That's being disingenuous in your question.
I'm reading a direct quote from Joe Biden. What we can't let happen is let this primary become a negative bloodbath.
He was talking about a group of people. A group of people. That's what he's talking about. What the president was talking about during the primary was not to allow it to be the words and the primary and that election to become negative. Two different things. They're not the same. They're not the same. And your question is disingenuous.
No, it isn't.
Look, I'm going to be really mindful here. I'm going to be really careful. We have to denounce violent rhetoric.
Well, we do.
Wherever it comes from. Former leader, we have to denounce that. Because we saw what happened on January 6th. We saw what happened there. When you have a mob of 2,000 people go to the Capitol because they didn't believe in the free and fair election that just happened months prior, because of violent rhetoric, you gotta denounce that.
Got to denounce that violent rhetoric, because when Trump says bloodbath in Dayton, Ohio, when he's talking about the U.S. auto industry, now, let's see, that was the weekend of the state girls basketball, which is a little over 2 weeks ago. In the span of less than 20 days, Donald Trump's comments about what will happen to the U.S. auto industry, and he used the term bloodbath, have now become associatable by the bully pulpit of the White House press secretary, violent rhetoric. And she says we have to denounce violent rhetoric. Well, this is where I agree with her. We do have to. I'm much less sensitive to it than she is, but I'm okay with, like, if you ask me, would you like more violent rhetoric or less violent rhetoric? I'd vote for less. So, since they are clearly worried about violent rhetoric, maybe they ought to get on the case of some of this violent rhetoric.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Ah, gee, that seems pretty violent. Somebody's going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. I seem to remember an image of Kathy Griffin. I would call her a has-been comedian, but she was never funny, so I'll call her a never was comedian. With a severed head of a mannequin bearing a striking resemblance to Donald Trump. Was that condemned by people on the left? No, it wasn't. You heard in that clip, I don't know, an all-star cast of idiots. Johnny Depp, Robert De Niro, Joe Biden, Nicole Wallace, Don Lemon, Nancy Pelosi, Ayanna Presley, and more, all on the left, all engaging in violent rhetoric. Doesn't bother them then, bothers them now only because they can take and misportray whatever Donald Trump says. Right now, Donald Trump, as we speak, the night after the Wisconsin primary, there are 7 swing states. Donald Trump is, here we go, +8 in North Carolina, +5 in Arizona, +4 in Nevada, +3 in Georgia, +3 in Pennsylvania, +2 in Michigan, and deadlocked in Wisconsin. Likely voters asked by the Wall Street Journal if they are in those 7 states, not all over the country, but in those 7 states where Trump already leads, if they are better or worse off than they were 2 years ago. So Biden's president the whole time. So not like were you better off under Trump, but have things gotten worse in the last 2 years under Joe Biden? Because, right, wages are up, prices are down, inflation's coming down, right? That's what they tell you. In the last 2 years, are you better off or worse off? In the swing states, 25% say they are better off, 56% say they are worse off. Who has the stamina to do the job as president? In those 7 swing states, 28% Joe Biden, 48% Donald Trump. Trump could like play 36 holes a day at Bedminster and win this election going away. In New York, they're trying to gag him from, just think of how ridiculous this is. So there's the judge in the Alvin Bragg Stormy Daniels case from 2016, which was already, all the details of that were out when Trump was elected in 2016. A New York prosecutor, Cy Vance, passed on it. A Manhattan DA, Cy Vance, passed on it. Now Bragg's bringing it back up because they're just desperate to put Trump away. They're trying to gag Trump from talking about the judge's daughter who works for Democratic politicians, including Adam Schiff, who has paid her millions of dollars in her PR agency to disparage Trump. Trump is bringing that up, and he's not allowed to bring it up under the gag order from the New York judge. What if they got the gag order they want? I think they would lose the election by more than they will, hopefully, lose it by if Trump is allowed to speak at rallies and speak about the lawfare against him and everything else between now and November the 5th. He's not going to do it, of course. His ego won't allow him to do it, and his followers crave him being on stage and cracking them up and pointing out the absurdity of all this. But he would win by a bigger margin if he just stayed silent.
Clouds and windy this afternoon. A few showers late this afternoon. Watch out for some flooding. A high today 50. Rain or snow shower. Breezy tonight, low 36. Clouds breezy and cold. Showers of rain or snow tomorrow morning. High 34. Cloudy, breezy and cold. Showers could mix with snow early in the day on Friday. High 44. On Saturday, partial sun. High Saturday afternoon, 49. I'm Steve Williams on 98. FM, The Answer.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com, and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than a dollar a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Ad paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly.
All right.
Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get what you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-852-3467 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free, and the help is real. Call 800-852-3467.
All right, we'll be back here in a short bit. Talk a little bit more about what we talked about on the in the first segment. I wish Trump's ego would allow him to say nothing. Say nothing. That would I think he'd win going away. I really do. I really do think he'd win going away if he just said nothing. But he won't, and that'll give him more of a chance to go after him.
29th of July 6. Call 855-565-5519 or reserve online. PatriotsAlaskaCruise.com.
1 minute.
Ian Ralston was a combat medic who suffered a catastrophic war injury in Iraq. When I met Ian for the first time, I knew we had to do everything we could to get him every benefit he's earned to live as normal life as possible. And we did. He needed an accessible house. We got that grant. And a van for his wheelchair to get him there. My name is Jason Stevenson, and I work for Paralyzed Veterans of America.
America's most seriously injured veterans are getting all the care and benefits they've earned, thanks to Paralyzed Veterans of America. For over 65 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans, and their service is free to all veterans and their families. Paralyzed Veterans of America, changing lives, building futures. To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
This is not an endorsement of social media use, rampant social media use, letting it dominate your life. But I will say, I have found on social media a lot of great recipes, keto recipes that dovetail with the lifestyle I'm trying to lead now in the wake of my brain surgery in September. And all the keto recipes, of course, depend upon great protein. And they say, you know, you got to find no hormones, you got to find no antibiotics. And I'm like, well, I got a cheat code because I get my steaks, I get my burger from Riverbend Ranch. Where is Riverbend Ranch? Well, it's in multiple states out west. It's big. It has to be big because they ship their beef all over the U.S. And it comes from one ranch. It's all Black Angus. It's all USDA Choice and Prime. And you can buy it too. New York strip, ribeye, filet mignon, chuck roast, ground beef. You got to go to riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley. riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley. Pick out your bundle. Decide whether you want it every month or every other month on your doorstep. It's phenomenal. Check it out. riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley. So Donald Trump yesterday was in Michigan and Wisconsin doing rallies. This Stormy Daniels case in New York will require him to be in court 4 days a week. He will have only Wednesdays to jet around the country and campaign. But it's not election interference. It's not lawfare keeping a candidate sidelined. You say, well, he shouldn't, if you can't do the court time, don't do the crime. Yeah, okay, whatever. This was passed on by the Manhattan DA in 2016 because it was a loser. It is a loser. It will be a loser this time. If not in actual penalties from the court, it will be a loser in terms of impact on the election. But where it will not be a loser is that it will certainly give, and has given already, mainstream media yet another alluring path toward lying through their teeth and thus compromising their credibility with those who still watch them. Donald Trump yesterday in Michigan was talking about another one of those things that we are told never happens, that just keeps happening. The murder of a young woman by an illegal immigrant. Not Lake and Riley, that was in Georgia. This case is in Michigan, where Ruby Garcia was murdered by her illegal immigrant boyfriend. And Trump brought it up, and he talked about justice for Ruby. And while talking about her specific case, he referred to the person who allegedly murdered her as an animal. Oh my goodness. The pearl clutching and whining throughout the mainstream media was over the top, as it always is, but was just so awful that President Trump would refer to all migrants as animals. Did he refer to all migrants as animals? No, he didn't. Craig JP, in the first clip that I played for you on the show today, talked about the importance of hearing these comments in context. In context. When Joe Biden says bloodbath in the primary, why, it's not bad, it's not bad. He's just talking about, like, we got to put a lid on the negativity. But when Donald Trump talks about a bloodbath, he's not talking about the U.S. auto industry and what will happen if Chinese imports are allowed to come across the border from Mexico, which is actually what he was talking about. Even Juan Williams, chief bootlick for the Democrats on Special Report, said that last night. And he thought the whole bloodbath thing with Trump was overblown. Careful, Juan. You won't be allowed into the parties that you love to go to if you keep saying things that are true. But Trump yesterday was talking about this one specific case. So you're going to hear a clip now, a compilation of clips. You're going to hear how the Trump comments about Ruby Garcia's alleged murderer were played on mainstream media outlets yesterday. Carefully edited to make what he said sound worse than what it was. Then you're going to hear all the media histrionics about it. And then at the end, you're going to hear what Trump actually said in the context in which he said it.
He's calling immigrants animals. Call migrants animals. Calling undocumented migrants animals. Calling immigrants animals. About migrants. Calling them nuts. Not all immigrants are animals, like he called them today. Like, that thing is the mere statement that's just so divisive and so painful that it's kind of hard to understand what's happening.
Student in Georgia who was barbarically murdered by an illegal alien animal. The Democrats said, please don't call them animals, they're humans. I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans, they're animals. And Nancy Pelosi told me that. She said, please don't use the word animals when you're talking about these people. I said, I'll use the word animal because that's what they are.
I think by definition, if you murder someone, you are an animal. You are someone who does not have respect for other human life. And Trump did not say that all immigrants are animals. He did not say that. But how many people are watching his rally? How many people will do the work, to coin a Democratic phrase that I've long grown tired of? How many people will do the research to find out, is that what he really said? Is that what he really said? No, Donald Trump doesn't have the benefit of people's first reaction when they hear something he supposedly said. The reaction is not, well, I don't know, let me go check that out and find out if he really said that. Because that sounds like crazy even for Trump. Which again is a very high bar, but this is how they operate, and this is how they will continue to operate. And then, of course, when they can't take something Trump said, they will just create something and portray it as fact. Here's a Democratic narrative. People are concerned about crime in the inner cities, right? I mean, crime is from 2019, when Donald Trump was president, to now, crime is up all over the country. They'll tell you, oh, crime is down. Look, crime is way down. Crime is down from last year. Crime is down from, 2021, and crime is down when Biden's from the apex of crime when Biden was in office. But it's not down from where it was when Trump was in office prior to the pandemic, when it became okay to riot and when Democratic politicians started bailing out criminals and ignoring heroic people like David Dorn, the St. Louis police officer who went out to protect his buddy's pawn shop and got murdered. Crime's not down from then. Crime is down from then, but it escalated. But here's the Democratic narrative now, that crime is, if crime is up, it's Trump's fault. It is absolutely 100% Donald Trump's fault.
Yeah, this campaign is going to campaign every single day on the truth. As you pointed out, the truth is that
violent crime skyrocketed under Donald Trump's presidency.
Nope.
Crime has fallen under Joe Biden's presidency.
Nope.
Political crime skyrocketed, but Donald Trump, again, is the one who was talking about defunding law enforcement. Out in the stump. So we're going to make sure that the American people
understand the facts of the record, and they understand what the two candidates are actually saying about solving the issue.
Are you really concerned? Every single day Donald Trump is talking about defunding the police? Really? I think this guy has voices in his head. Maybe, or there's a gas leak wherever he is. I would maybe go get myself checked out at a doctor's office, my friend, if you think that Donald Trump is talking about defunding police every single day, that violent crime is up. Now, I mean, you can't be surprised, right? I mean, Biden's official press secretary stands up there every single day and lies through her teeth about every single thing that comes before her. So it shouldn't surprise you that they're desperate enough to hang on to their power that they'll just tell blatant lies about this. Again, they don't need Trump's words to twist. They'll invent twisted lies on their own.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Taiwan rocked by a powerful earthquake that left at least 9 people dead, more than 1,000 injured, also widespread property damage. Ravenswood, West Virginia, one of many communities pummeled by powerful storms, wicked weather from Texas all the way up through the Ohio River Valley. Crews have opened a second temporary channel.
That might be the first time I've heard somebody say that Donald Trump is defunding the police.
The wreckage of Baltimore's
And
collapsed
tell me,
bridge,
if I'd have heard that before, I would have heard it all over the place, not just from that cat.
California has entered spring with an above-average mountain snowpack. The major reservoirs said to be in good shape the second year in a row. The future of the Royals and the Chiefs in Kansas City is unclear now that residents of Jackson County, Missouri have voted against a sales tax to help pay for
I agree. Candidate discipline is Trump's biggest weakness. 100%. 100%.
This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. We've helped over 30,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. At Wesley Financial Group, we're dedicated to helping timeshare owners get out of their financial nightmare. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-256-5533. That's 800-256-5533. 800-256-55...
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
This is Josh Pick with Aptus Wealth Management. The U.S. and the world have certainly changed a lot in the last few years. We're facing money dangers that we haven't seen in a long time, maybe ever. Inflation continues to be a problem. Interest rate increases have made purchases like cars and homes seemingly impossible for some, and retirement looks like a scary proposition. For many, it appears to be a dire situation and has left them paralyzed and fearful. You are not helpless, and there are ways to gain back control. At Aptus, we help our clients navigate the labyrinth of retirement planning and educate them on how to make appropriate choices for their individual situation. Whether you have never met with a fiduciary investment advisor before, or you just want a second opinion, we're here to help. Call our office today at 614-917-1040 and learn how a cost-free complimentary meeting may be the key to putting your money to work and your mind at ease. And don't forget to listen to the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
Here's great news. If you plan on attending Ohio Christian University as a new traditional student this fall semester at the Circleville campus, you can receive a $5,000 tuition scholarship for only $2,500. That's right, get a $5,000 tuition scholarship for only $2,500. One scholarship per student, and all Ohio Christian University admission requirements must be met. Learn more at 989theanswer.com or call RMAT at 614-216-5049.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey, do me a favor. The next time you go to brush your teeth or use mouthwash, maybe put deodorant on, flip that product over and read the ingredients, and then tell me if you know every single ingredient in there, and if you're absolutely 100% positive that every single ingredient in there is something that you're not afraid to put in your body, ingest, or rub on your body. My guess is you're going to say, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Is that good for me? Is that not good for me? You never have to worry about that if you buy your personal care products from patriotswitch.com/Bruce. That's actually where you leave your information, and I reach out to you and tell you about the private shopping club, where they ship those products right to your door every month. The $10.50 shipping is credited back to your order on products you order the following month, so you're not getting gouged that way, and you're getting products that are all plant-based. They never paid a product liability settlement. They never paid a settlement to a town or a city or a village for damaging the environment. We get the products every month and love them. I can tell you which products we like, but first leave me your information and I'll reach back out. patriotswitch.com/Bruce. So my theory is, if Donald Trump did in this presidential election what Joe Biden did in the 2020 presidential election, hid in his basement, Trump would win in a landslide. He's leading it 6 of the 7 battleground states: North Carolina, Arizona. He gives the media to spread lies about what he said, creatively edited, as they did yesterday when he was talking about the murder of 25-year-old Ruby Garcia in Michigan, and he referred to her murderer as an animal illegal alien. So this sparked a whole overwrought, pearl-clutching response from the left about it. Peter Doocy asked John Kirby, media stooge at the White House, about Ruby Garcia. Listen to John Kirby's answer.
There's not a case of somebody who was in the country illegally, allegedly murdering a young woman at the time of Michigan. Her name was Ruby Garcia. Donald Trump is out there now calling this Biden's border bloodbath. What do you call it?
Well, first of all, while I'm not aware of this specific case.
Well, that's heartening.
Our thoughts and prayers obviously go to the family of Miss Garcia.
You don't pray. No one believes that.
And there's no family ever wants to get ever. And we would certainly defer to local law enforcement and investigative bodies to do the spade work that needs to be done to figure out exactly what happened to Ruby, and to hold the perpetrators accountable for that. So why don't we let the judicial process play out here before we start making grandiose bumper sticker comments about what this says about the border.
Grandiose bumper sticker comments. That's what John Kirby's worried about. He sounds an awful lot like Corinne Jean-Pierre, who in the first clip that I played for you today talked about the fact that it's important to hear these comments in context. And basically the context is, if Joe Biden says bloodbath, he means nothing nefarious by it. And if Donald Trump says bloodbath, even if he's talking about the auto industry, then he's talking about fascism and dictatorship and chaos and anarchy and everything else and every other word we can possibly think of that's bad and evil and wrong. Also, Trump is not just responsible for what comes out of his mouth, however creatively edited it is. Donald Trump is responsible for his followers, his voters, his supporters looking at all of this from afar and seeing the double standard in that Hunter Biden can do whatever he wants with drugs, with guns, with cross-state sex trafficking, with taking bags of cash from oligarchs from around the world, with marketing his father's name as somehow proving that Hunter Biden has some energy expertise that allows him to get paid $80,000 a month by an energy company owned by a foreign oligarch hostile to the United States. His followers see that. Trump's followers see that. They see the lawfare. They see the cases. They see Fani Willis not disqualified from the case in Atlanta. They hear Joe Biden lie repeatedly about, I had nothing to do with my son's business dealings. Never had a conversation with my brother. Didn't know anything about it. They see all that, and then they get angry. And they respond with things that are, I think, perfectly justified in the bare-knuckle brawl that is a presidential political election. And yet this, again, is a demonstration of how not just this, however these voters who support Trump react is not their own agency, it's not their own fault. It's the fault of Donald Trump and his violent rhetoric that must be opposed. What they're really upset about now is that while Trump was in Michigan, there was a caravan of trucks with Trump flags and Trump decals on them. And this is the case wherever Trump speaks. It was the case in Delaware when he spoke there, 2 summers ago? It is the case wherever he speaks. And in one of these vehicles was a decal on the back. I can't imagine how much this cost, but I'm, admiring the creativity of the person, where Joe Biden was pictured tied up as if he were laying in the back of the pickup truck. So listen to how this was greeted on CNN by a CNN reporter and the response from the Biden team on this voter who I'm sure has never met Donald Trump. It'd be one of the biggest days of his life if he did. But listen to the response and how awful this is and how supposedly Trump directly is the person who caused this person to come up with this decal. Oh, it's Long Island. Oh, yeah, all 40 or 50 of those Capitol Police officers who were killed on January the 6th. Oh, wait, maybe it wasn't 40 or 50. Was it 4 or 5? Oh, that's right, it was 0. Thankfully, not every Democrat is unhinged. By the way, it's Trump's fault that a guy comes up with a decal on his truck. it's not the least bit abhorrent or horrendous or questioning that Letitia James campaigned to run for office saying she would get Donald Trump, that she looks at his buildings every day in New York and fantasizes about taking them over. Comedian Jon Stewart, who I'm not politically aligned with, but he had some fun with this overwrought reaction to the Biden decal on the truck.
The news has been pretty bleak recently. In the past 200, 300 years. But this weekend, there was one story that was so disturbing, so dark. Even the news couldn't handle it.
In our editorial discussions this morning, we were asked not to show the image from this video because of its violent and disturbing nature.
Video, which we are intentionally choosing not to show you. We're not going to show because of how disturbing it is. I was extremely disturbed to see this.
Horrible, horrible, violent imagery.
Violent and dehumanizing imagery.
We're only going to show you a clip of this briefly.
All right, that's enough. Let's take it down.
This has got to be devastating. News channels show images from Ukraine, from Gaza, from natural disasters. They get through them dispassionately. I can't imagine how devastating this footage must be.
Former President Donald Trump shared a video, this one, on his Truth Social account featuring an image of President Joe Biden hogtied on the back of a pickup truck.
That's what was so disturbing and dehumanizing. You wouldn't show it on television, and an airbrushed Biden decal on the back of a truck. Aren't you the same networks that show reruns of 9/11 every year? I mean, I don't think it's great that Trump is posting things like this. It's not like people really think Joe Biden was tied up in the back of the truck.
It's a doctored image when it's plastered on the tailgate of the pickup truck. So if you're driving behind it, it would appear as if Joe Biden were actually restrained on the vehicle's flatbed.
Now, we'll play you what Stewart said wrapping that up, but if you think that's actually Joe Biden in the back of the pickup truck, and I'm not a Joe Biden guy, but even if I'm not a Joe Biden guy, if I see the president tied up in the back of the truck, if you see that, call 911 immediately.
Clouds and windy this afternoon. A few showers late this afternoon. Watch out for some flooding. A high today 50. Rain or snow shower. Breezy tonight, low 36. Clouds.
I mean, I don't think it's great that Trump is posting things like this, but it's not like people...
I-44 on Saturday, partial sun. High Saturday afternoon, 49. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel. Home to the biggest shows on TV, like Dennis Prager, weekdays at noon Eastern, followed by Jay and Jordan Sekulow at 2. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Why?
This summer could be a tough... Today, the Biden administration announced that it's going to pull back its plans to refill the SPR, the strategic geopolitical risk out there, so... I don't know. This summer could be a tough summer if you want to drive somewhere. Today...
Even my body's ability to heal itself. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about an alternative option for the joint pain that you're suffering right now. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine that gives lasting relief to people with joint pain. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. The body is equipped to heal itself. The platelets in your body will do that, but sometimes your body needs a little bit more of them because of our advancing age or because the problem requires a little bit more than your body gives naturally to those areas that hurt, like your knees, your back, your hip. Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation with local medical professionals who can help you get out of pain. Get ready for spring and summer and those activities that you love so much. Call QC Kinetics today, 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here from my friends at Lone Star Transfer. Are you feeling the impact of the recent changes in the timeshare industry? Now more than ever, the cost of timeshare ownership far outweigh the benefits. My friends at Lone Star Transfer are the only company I trust to help you get out. Our listeners' positive feedback demonstrates why I've supported them for many years now. For over a decade, they've successfully helped over 20,000 owners. Lone Star Transfer exclusive options help timeshare owners like you get out faster and easier than any other option in the country. They're the only company that will give you a written guarantee and release you from your timeshare in a specific time frame. With an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star reviews, customer service is their top priority. For a free consultation and guaranteed solution, call 844-310-3116. That's 844-310-3116. Or check it out right now at LoneStarTransfer.com. They're excellent. They do a wonderful job. LoneStarTransfer.com.
Your home is a big investment. If you live in a condominium or homeowners association, decisions by your board and community manager affect you. Is your board knowledgeable? Is your manager trained? Is your investment protected? CAI, Community Associations Institute, can give you the tools to protect your home and community. CAI is a nonprofit organization with resources for your board, community managers, and free information for homeowners like you. CAI at responsiblecommunities.com.
Now, this may sound like a joke I'm about to make about Ketanji Brown Jackson and her not knowing the difference between a man and a woman, but it's not. It's something you should pay attention to if you have students who might be headed to Ohio Christian University this fall, particularly if they are aspiring biologists. OCU is pleased to announce their Bachelor of Science in Biology program starting this fall. Dive into the fascinating world of biology where men are men and women are women with their faith-based approach to science, expert faculty, and a newly built biology lab. But wait, there is more. They are offering scholarships to help you achieve your academic dreams. Don't miss the opportunity to pursue your passion for science at Ohio Christian University. Apply now and unleash your potential. Visit ohiochristian.edu/biology to learn more. And don't forget, you can get $2,500 off your OCU tuition by spending $2,500 to get a $5,000 scholarship. You do that in the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com. A thought just hit me. I have a pickup truck, and depending on the cost of that decal with Biden hogtied in the back, I would not be averse to putting one on the back of my pickup truck. And I know quite a few other people. My friend Bill, my retired Marine friend Bill, who I met over the weekend, I think Bill might have a spot in his pickup truck for that. This chap in Long Island, New York, with the Biden decal hogtied in the back of a pickup truck that so offended CNN that they were actually afraid that might be Biden in the back. This guy, wherever he got this decal, maybe it's already available online. I don't know. I'm guessing. What do you think? What do you think that goes for? I'm going to guess. Well, we're in the Biden economy. I was going to guess like $79.99, but in the Biden economy, I'm going to guess like $199.99. Okay. So even Jon Stewart of The Daily Show found this ridiculously stupid that the left was overreacting to this. Here is his summation to watching the left wig out over it.
I mean, I don't think it's great that Trump is posting things like this. It's not like people really think Joe Biden was tied up in the back of the truck.
It's a doctored image when it's plastered on the tailgate of the pickup truck. So if you're driving behind it, it would appear as if Joe Biden were actually restrained on the vehicle's flatbed.
If you think that's really Joe Biden tied up on the
the back of the pickup truck, I don't know that you have the mental acuity to be operating a motor vehicle.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. You might not have at least the mental acuity to understand fantasy from reality. But that's where Democrats are, man. The term Trump derangement syndrome, there were times where I thought, well, I don't know if there's really. It is such a thing with the left. They have such Trump derangement syndrome. Here's another example of it. James Carville, Democratic strategist, the guy who coined the phrase, it's the economy, stupid, all that. Again, first hour of the show has been about Karine Jean-Pierre and others taking Trump out of context and doing so because, well, we have to condemn violent rhetoric. I mean, we can't allow violent rhetoric. Violent rhetoric could lead to, like, violent rhetoric, January 6th. All violent rhetoric leads to a bad outcome. That's the theory on the left, right? All Trump rhetoric is violent rhetoric, and that's why Trump must be silenced. That's why there must be a gag order in New York. It's why he must be put in jail or have his properties and all his wealth taken away from him. Because this man is such a threat to democracy in his violent rhetoric. I don't know about you, but this sounds like pretty violent rhetoric to me, coming from James Carville to Anderson Cooper on CNN.
But there are a lot of people to do what I call, quote, the wet work, unquote. And I think a mob state sort of a, yeah, well, it's kind of, but it's a paid TV and stuff like that. But yes, a CIA term, take a guy out. But he doesn't need to do the wet work. People like me and other groups in the party need to do that.
So James Carville says there are other people to do the wet work on Donald Trump, which is a term that means to assassinate or murder someone. That is what wet work is. And Anderson Cooper harumphs it. Ha! Not derisively, like, ha, that's funny. Wet work. Ah, sounds like a mob hit. And here's Carville's response.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, but it's a paid TV and stuff like that. But yes, a CIA term, take a guy out.
Take a guy out. What if Trump said today at a rally, if he's not in court somewhere, you know what we need to do in November of 2024? We need to take Joe Biden out. We need to take him out. Somebody, you, me, we all need to team up, and we need to do the wet work to take Joe Biden out. You know, in fact, Trump is such a guy who loves to troll people and trigger people. This is actually how he could continue to be out on the campaign trail and embarrass Democrats for their double standard, is just simply, rather than freelancing, and I know Trump's a great freelancer, he'd have made a tremendous stand-up comedian, by the way. In the age of the insult being funny, Donald Trump is the funniest comedian out there. But what if Trump just got his material from Democrats? What if he just went up and he goes, you know, I heard James Carville say something the other day, and I thought it was brilliant, particularly since, you know, maybe he's overdue to say something brilliant because he's James Carville and he's a Clinton hack and he demonized any woman who came after Bill Clinton. He doesn't demonize the women coming after me, but James Carville said something about doing the wet work to take me out. You know, I like that term. I think we should do the wet work to take Joe Biden out. How would that be portrayed in the media? I mean, they would love to dump on Trump for saying take Joe Biden out or wet work, but it would be a brilliant way for Trump to call attention to the double standard and to the fact that Democrats are just so deranged when they get to the point where Donald Trump is the topic. Now, there's been a lot of concern, and this concern came up at the Lazy Chameleon on the night that Mike Gallagher was in town. By the way, I'll be hosting the Mike Gallagher show on Friday. So if you tune in Friday and you hear me at 9 a.m., don't panic. Mike is still with Salem. I did not, you know, slip something in his drink at the Lazy Chameleon. He's just kind enough to let me host his program, and I'll be on that show from well, its normal time is 9 to noon, so I'll be on then, and I'll continue on then with our regular time from noon to 1. But one of the topics that came up at the Lazy Chameleon was, what are we going to do to stop, in the audience participation part of the program, what are we going to do to stop the left stealing another election, or funnying with, or manipulating another election? Well, I'm here to tell you, apparently, that is a misplaced concern. If you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe Hillary Clinton.
Already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election.
We do?
And they're not making a secret of it.
Well, they are. I haven't heard it.
That happened. The 2024 presidential election.
2024.
Decided not by the popular vote, or even by the anachronistic electoral college, but by state legislatures.
Oh.
Many of them Republican controlled.
Oh, the evil right-wing plan to steal the election. Is she talking about a 270-270 tie in the Electoral College? If she is, the plan to break a 270-270 tie in the Electoral College has been in place since the country was founded. It would go to, the election would go to the House of Representatives, where where the states would vote according to probably the party that controls the state legislator. And guess what, Hillary? More states are controlled by Republican majorities that are controlled by Democratic majorities. And in that case, yes, you would lose. But you would lose according to a plan that has been in place since before you were born, and before Joe Biden was born. So you know that plan's been around for quite some time.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk, and actual results may vary. Oil and natural
Oh, yikes.
$70, by the way.
What's that?
$70 is how much
70
for the decal.
Okay, $70 is the Biden in the trunk decal. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one. I can afford that.
I got you cute.
That's all right. I can afford that. I can afford that. I may go for that. I'll assure my truck getting scratched to no end, but well, people are gonna try to get him out. Yeah. Yeah, my producer makes a great point. They're going to try to get him out if they do that. All right, that'll do it for today. If you want to watch the second hour of the show, you can join us on the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page. You can watch us on the 98.9 The Answer live stream. And I'll see you tomorrow. And appreciate you guys joining and watching. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.